Hi there, my name is Maureen Stanton and I am a Norwex independent sales consultant. I am going to do this quick team training on how to edit with iMovie. I am not an iMovie expert, but I am just going to share some tips and tricks that I have found to help me as I'm editing my videos. So when you open iMovie, you're going to click on this plus sign, and it's going to come up with an option to choose movie or trailer. Trailer is a template that iMovie has created, and they're really fun to play around with. But if you're going to be creating a video for your business, like your demonstration video or something like that, you're going to want to click on movie. And so when you click on movie, you can choose between themes. The only thing that the theme does is inputs automatic transitions and titles. So I usually click no theme or I click simple. For the sake of this training, we'll click no theme and we'll click create. And then I'm just going to name it team training. You can name your movie whatever it is you are creating. And so you're going to come to this screen, and this looks very intimidating, I know. But once you play around with iMovie, it's really easy to navigate. Again, there are probably a million things that I don't know how to do, but the things that I do know how to do have helped me create some really good I would say semi-professional, I don't know if I'd call them professional, but maybe semi-professional looking videos that you can tell have been edited, and it's just really helped with my business. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click import media. This button's going to be here, but once you import one media, it's going to go away. And so you can also choose this arrow right here to import media. So I'm going to choose, I have some videos on my desktop. I'm not really creating a specific video right now. I'm just going to choose random videos and show you how I put those together. So I'm going to choose number 1 and I'm going to click import selected. And it brings it right here. What I do is the very first thing is I select all of it. I click. I drag it and I just drop it down here. I like to edit down here. I think you can edit up here in this field, but I edit down here and it's a lot easier. So I also, when I create my videos, I probably don't do it in the right way either, but I obviously have to push the record button, and then I have to get behind the camera, and then I have to adjust my hair, and so there's a lot of stuff that I want to delete, and you probably will have the same thing as well. And so if you hit the space bar, I know you can't see my keyboard, but if I click down here and I hit the space bar, it helps it start playing. And if I hit the space bar again, it pauses it. So anytime you see that I have started and paused, you might hear the space bar click, but I've clicked the space bar. So I'm going to click the space bar again.
Hi, my name is Maureen and I'm a Norwex independent sales consultant.
So if I want to start my video here, I want to get rid of all of this stuff. You're going to hear me play the same things over and over again, so I apologize if that gets annoying. But I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to pause right when I start talking. And then I'm going to come up to modify, and I'm going to click split clip. And what that allows me to do is simply click on this whole section and just click delete and get rid of it. So then if I want to start it from the beginning,
Hi, my name is...
and I want to extend this just a little bit because my mouth is open when I start talking.
Hi, my name is Maureen.
Then I can do that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and let it play out.
Today I have 3 tests for you to show you the validity of our Norwex EnviroCloth.
And then I want it to stop right there, so I push the space bar, modify, split clip, and then I'm going to get rid of all of this. So here's the usable, I keep trying to point at my screen because I use my hands all the time when I talk. This chunk is my usable footage. and I've deleted the stuff that I don't want in there. The next thing I'm going to do in this little clip is I'm going to add my name. So when I want to add any sort of text, I'm going to click on the button Titles. And you're going to have all of these choices to choose from. And yes, it can be overwhelming. But you are going to choose which title you want to add to your text. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my name. I want my name to be spelled out just because my name is a little bit harder to pronounce. And a lot of people don't necessarily know or hear it often. So I'm going to choose, and I like to choose the text just because I'm a little bit more simple. You can choose to do, and if you roll over it with your mouse, it'll show you on the screen what it looks like. So let's just choose that one. Let's say I want to choose pop-up lower third, and I'm going to drag it wherever I want it. And I'm just going to drop it there. And then I have to come over here, and I have to delete, and I'm going to type my name. It already has the font that I use all the time. I always use Loopy Juice for every video I make just because it's my favorite font. So I'm going to keep that there, and I'm going to change the font size to, Loopy Juice is a little bit smaller of a font, so I'm going to change it to 146, I think. So, and you can obviously, you can double click on it to edit again. You can change that it's center. So even though I chose pop up lower third, if I chose that and I like that, but I want it to actually pop up in the middle, I can do that. That's no problem. Or if I want it to pop up over here, I can do that as well. If I want it to be bold, I don't think Loopy Juice bolds. I can change the color of my font if I wanted it to be a different color. Oh, let's get rid of that. And then to like save what I've done, I'm going to just click out of it. So then I'm going to have to come back here, and I always start here, and I click the space bar, and I want to make sure that my name obviously pops up when I say it. I don't want it to be randomly on the screen. So I'm going to come push the space bar.
Hi, my name is Maureen, and I'm a Norwex independent sales consultant.
Okay, so I want my name to be done. I don't want it to be on the screen as I continue to talk. So I'm going to click on my name here, or the text, and I'm going to drag it. So, and you can choose how many seconds it's on the screen. So I just went from 4 seconds on the screen to 3.3. So again, I'm going to come here.
Hi, my name is Maureen, and I'm a Norwex independent sales consultant. Today,
And there's my text. And I actually kind of think I want it maybe over here and maybe a little bit bigger. We'll see. And you can, if I decided I don't want this anymore, all you have to do is click on it and click delete, and it deletes it. If I want to move it somewhere else, I can move it somewhere else. It's super easy to drag that around. Okay. Let's go to transitions. So titles is where you add text, and you can play around with all of those. You can add any kind of text, and if you just want to see what it looks like, you can just scroll over it. If I want to see what this one looks like, I can scroll over it. I mean, you can choose whatever you'd like. Let's go to transitions, though, and these are just the transitions that you can pick to go from clip to clip, basically. So this one will just swap out. This will be like a doorway. I like to use the fade black at the beginning, and you just drag it there, and that means it'll start black.
hi, my name is Maureen, and I'm a Norwex.
And I obviously want this to move over a little.
Hi, my name is Maureen. Hi.
And I don't want to be talking yet, so I'm going to extend this a little bit since it's black at first.
Hi, my name is Maureen, and I'm a Norwex.
And I need to move this over. So you see all these editing things. You're just playing around with it until you get it exactly how you want it. And yes, you're going to get sick of hearing yourself say,
Hi, my name is Maureen.
Hi, my name is Maureen. Okay, so let's move on, and let's say I want to add open circle to my next transition. Now, you have to watch this. So watch this down here. When I add a transition, it cuts off some of the clip. So whenever I add a transition, I usually extend the clip so it doesn't transition before I'm done talking. So I'll show you what that looks like. And then I'm done. If I wouldn't have extended that clip, it would have cut. I would have been still talking as it transitioned. So when you add transitions, just remember to come here and extend the clip. And all you do is just click on it and just drag however far. So even though I went up here and did split clip and I deleted that clip, it's not gone. I can still extend this and have part of that clip that I split off and deleted. So it's not gone forever. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Oh, I'll show you something. So sometimes when people want to start their presentation or their video, they don't want to start out with them right away. They want to start out with a screen that's like the title page or a title screen. I did that on my How to Care for Your Norwex and Virocloths video. You can choose, I went to backgrounds, and backgrounds are just basically blank slides. Oh, of course, my computer's going to start spinning on me. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I did that. So you can choose any one of these backgrounds, and these are just colored slides, basically. So, and you can see, like, this one's stars. I don't know if you can see that very well. Retro, paper, there's just solid colors, silk beige, silk orange. So you can see all of those. I am going to choose, let's just do pinstripes just to make it fun. And you want to drag over here, and you want to, don't let go until you see that it's moved over. And so what that's going to do is it's going to open up your title screen, and then it goes into my video, and I can make a transition there if I want. So let's say I want it to be a doorway because I think that would be kind of cool. So I'm going to say it's going to be the pinstripes, and I'm going to add text.
Hi,
and then there we go. And if I want this to be a longer screen because I'm going to add more text and I want people to read it, I can make it go for 16 seconds if I wanted. Or I can make it go for 3. And I'm going to add a title to that. And if you're watching this and you're like, wow, you're going too fast, the beauty of YouTube is you can watch it as many times as you like. So let's say I want to add a title and I want it to be something cool. What is something cool? Oh, gravity. I kind of like gravity. So I'm going to put it at the beginning. I'm going to drag it so it's the same length as my title page. If I make this longer, it's going to be on the screen longer. So I obviously want it to stop at my transition. And I'm going to double click so I can edit. Oops, I just deleted it on accident. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to do this team training video. Okay, and let me show you what it looks like. So I always come out here and I click the space bar again, and there it is.
Hi, my name is
So that's kind of cool too. And if I want to delete that, or if I want to delete this because I chose to do something else, all you do is click on it, and once it's yellow, you just click delete, and you could choose a different background. You can add those in between each one, and I did that with my How to Care for Your Norwex and Virocloths. So I did my title page, and then I wrote something in between each clip. So I would come here, and let's say I'm just going to be really funny and just play around with it. Let's say I want, what's this? Let's see. Oh, here's a cool like Star Wars thing. That's kind of cool. Prism, we'll just say, Step 1. Oh, and I forgot to change my text. So Loop Juice regular, my fave. Loopy Juice is kind of a smaller text, so you might notice that you need to use bigger font if you're using Loopy Juice than other fonts.
Norwex EnviroCloth.
And then there you go. And then we can make a transition and say we want to do cube. And notice it cut off. So if I delete, it's 3.5 seconds. But if I add a transition, it is now 2.5. So I'm going to need to extend that to 3.5 again. So just be very aware of that little piece. When you add a transition, it cuts off the previous about 1 second off. So you just have to extend it so it doesn't transition before you're done talking or before you want it to. Okay, so let's go ahead and add another video. So let's just do number 2. And again, my media is where it went. So here's my first one that I've already used. Here's my second one. Sometimes if they look the same, they can get kind of lost. Again, I'm going to drag. I'm going to select the whole thing. This is kind of a longer one. And I'm going to drop it right here. So as you can see, I have a lot of video to edit. And I'm not going to even come close to using all this video. So I'm going to push the space bar.
First test we're going to do is grow some bacteria. So I have some raw chicken, and this is our raw protein that we're going to use. And I'm going to rub it on this surface that I disinfected before with rubbing alcohol. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub all of this raw chicken right on the surface.
Okay, so if I want to stop it right there, I can go modify split clip. And then I keep rubbing, and I could delete that if I wanted. I could not.
And this side, we're going to test our disinfecting wipes. And this side, we're going to test our Norwex EnviroCloth.
So if I want to delete that and start where I start talking, I can do split clip. And I can delete that.
And this side, we're going to test our disinfecting wipe.
If I don't want the word and, I know I say and all the time, I just drag it a little bit.
And this side.
And let's see if I can get rid of that word and.
And this side, we're going to test our disinfecting. This side, we're going to.
So you got to really play around with it.
This side, we're going to.
There we go. So I got rid of that word and. That is the beauty of editing, is I can video myself and I can say whatever I want to say, and then I know that I can just edit everything out, almost everything out. So I got rid of that little word and that's something so small, but it really can be distracting if you find yourself saying and or any one of those words that are just filler words. So I got rid of that and.
This side, we're going to test our disinfecting wipes. And this side, we're going to test our Norwex EnviroCloth. And what we're going to do is I'm going to wipe both surfaces, and then I'm going to test it for.
Okay, so I just messed up there. I didn't remember what I was going to say. So if I want to delete that, I can split clip. One little tip and trick is some people like to, these bloopers, put them at the very end and actually have a blooper section. So that's kind of fun. So what you would do is it would look like this. Let's say.
Test it for. So what I'm going to do is.
Let's say I want to do, that wasn't very funny, but let's say I did something like a funny face or something. So I can just take this little clip of me just being pausing and not remember what I'm going to say. And I can move it to, maybe I need to select it correctly. I can move it to the end. And then I can move a bunch of bloopers to the end and make a blooper section, and that's kind of fun for people. Okay. So what else do I need to show you?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe both surfaces, and then I'm going to take a sample and put it in our Petri dish. And then I'm going to come back 3 days later and show you the results.
So I just lost what I was going to say. So I just did not like this. So I just stopped. So if I want to delete things, if I want to delete this whole section, I can. And then let me show you. So I've showed you transitions. I've shown you backgrounds, and backgrounds are just blank slides. So if I wanted to do another one right here in between here, I could. I can put those anywhere I want. Titles are just where you're going to put how you're going to add text to all of your slides. The ones I like to use a lot are the ones that don't move, like upper. I use upper all the time. It just says upper. And that way I can, let's say I wanted to write, I like to use text with when I'm talking. So let's say I want to move it over here. Let me see what I say right here.
First test we're going to do is grow some bacteria.
So if I want to write grow bacteria, and I can just add that in, and people will know what I said in case I didn't say it correctly, or I really want to emphasize something.
Some bacteria. Is grow some bacteria. So I have some raw chicken.
And I obviously don't need it to be that long, so.
First test we're going to do is grow some bacteria. So I have some.
And maybe I want it to move over a little. So anytime you want to emphasize something you're saying, or it's a really important point and you want them to hear it and see it on the screen, add a title. And again, I really like the one upper. The thing I can show you about upper is even though it says upper, I can push the return button and I can move it anywhere I want. I can move it to the middle, I can move it to the left, I can really move it all over the screen. So I just like upper because I can really manipulate it so it's where I want it to be. Same with lower. Lower though, you can't really, I mean you can move it around but not as easily. So yeah, and then let's do some audio. Audio you can choose from any of these sound effects. So I use, oh, that's going to be loud. I think I use playful. I use playful a lot, and I like simple. And that's just really cool background noise. Let me show you a few tricks about that. So let's say I want the whole background noise of this video to be simple. All you're going to do is you're going to click on it. Let me do that again. I just clicked on simple, and I dragged it down here to the bottom. And it's only 59 seconds. So if I had a video that was longer, then I would have to add another clip. Now, I obviously don't want it to be super loud. Because you can't even hear me. So you come here, you come down here to the bottom, and you go to the middle when you get those two arrows where it says adjust volume. And I usually adjust it all the way down to 6 or 7%, like no higher than 10. And I'll show you what that sounds like.
Hi, my name is Marina, Norwex Independent Sales Consultant.
So you can still hear me. However, I like to then move this up to 200. And I've always done that on all my videos. So let me show you what that sounds like.
Hi, my name is Marina, Norwex Independent Sales Consultant.
So you can hear me a little bit better. And 200%, I've used that on all my videos. They're all on YouTube. I listen to them with my computer at full volume, and you can hear it just fine. It's not blaring. So I like that 200%. And then the music down here I like to be at like 6 or 7%. You can also import any song from iTunes. So if you want an iTunes song, you can do that. Let me delete this, and I have a Taylor Swift song that I like to run to, and I'm gonna keep it lower because it's gonna be really loud. Go back down to like 7, and I'll show you what that sounds like.
Hi, my name is Marina, Norwex Independent Sales Consultant. Today I have 3 tests for you to show you the validity of our Norwex environment.
So if you want some kind of a real song in your background, you might really use this feature from iTunes for your demonstration video, especially because I know some people don't like to talk in their demonstration videos. So you might find a really fun, catchy song that you can put in the background that gets people's attention. But just make sure, obviously, you guys know this. Don't use anything that's inappropriate or something that somebody's going to, just because of your music, be turned off from your whole business. You don't want to make that mistake. Okay, sound effects are kind of cool. Oh, sorry, GarageBand is kind of cool. So there are, maybe, what am I thinking about sound effects? Oh, I'm sorry, sound effects, not GarageBand. Sound effects, you can choose from all of these sound effects. And if you want like a car door closing or a dog barking, I mean, you can get really creative with your videos. I use the clock one, and I'm, of course, going to forget which one I've used before. Oh, this one. I've used that one when I am showing something that I want to, like I'm timing, or when did I use it before? I've used it a couple times on my chicken demonstration when I'm shaking my my protein tubes, my protein test swab tubes. I use this ticker when I speed something up, which, let me show you how to speed something up. That's super important. So let's say I want to speed this clip up. It's 10 seconds long, and it's something where I'm talking and I want my voice to sound, some people don't know how to do this, I want my voice to sound squeaky, or I want to speed something up that I'm demonstrating, and they don't need to see 10 seconds of me swiping something with my dust mitt, for example. You're going to click on the clip that you want to speed up, and you're going to come up here to this that looks like a speedometer, and it just says speed if you hover over it. Now, you can choose between slow, and that extends it, and that makes it go in slow motion. Let me delete the Taylor Swift song.
This side, we're going to test our disinfecting wipes.
Okay, obviously that's creepy. So I don't want this to be slow. So I need to come back up here. And you can choose how slow. You can choose 10% slow, 25. If I choose 10, it gets even slower. And that is if you want something that's like really slow motion, really for effect. And that definitely has a time and place for it. Obviously not in this video. Or you can choose auto, and you can choose whatever speed you want it to be at. Okay. Fast, I can choose to go fast. And let me show you what that sounds like. Okay, now that's super fast. So I can also do, that's 2 times fast. 4 times as fast as, I don't even know. So that is obviously super fast. Or if you want, you can do custom. And custom fast is like, I like to do 150%. And so it makes my voice squeaky, but you can still hear it. I'll show you what it sounds like.
This side, we're going to test our disinfecting wipes, and this side, we're going to test our Norwex and Biocon.
So you can still hear it, but it has the squeaky, kind of cute effect. I wouldn't use it for this part of the video, but you can use it. I've used it in my demonstration video when I repeat myself, and the second time I use the fast feature. I have used the slow motion feature on one video as well. Okay, so let me see if there's any other buttons. Those are really the main, oh, this is cropping. So those are really the main features that I use. There isn't really anything else that I can think of that I use. I do the split clip often when I need to get rid of things. That's how I edit. When you want to add a media, you import media, and you add your video. You have to click on my media to see it. Where is the video I just added?
for you to show you.
I think it went, where did it go? Maybe I didn't add it. Maybe I need to add 3 again. Okay, there it is. So again, you just select it, you come down here and you add it. To split clips, you split and then you can move it however you want. You also don't have to split it. You can cut however much you want or however little you want out. Audio are the sound effects or the iTunes. Titles are your text. Backgrounds are your blank slides if you want to add a blank slide. I usually do a black one at the end and put all of my information. So I'll add a title and let's just choose upper because I know what that looks like. Of course, now I can't find it. Where are you, upper? Oh, right there. And what I usually do is I usually center it and I'll put my website. I'll change the font. I mean, you can get very creative with this. And then I can choose that I want it to be, you know, longer at the very end. I want people to read my stuff longer. And that is all I do. That is really a very quick tutorial on how to edit with iMovie. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to make mistakes. It's super fun once you get going and you really play around with it. There's a lot of things, like I said, that I probably missed, but the things that I showed you are everything you need to know to make a really good quality video for yourself. And if you have any questions or need help with anything, I am happy to help. So please leave comments or email me and I will answer your questions. All right. Oh, let me show you how to export. So if I'm ready to export or share, I'm going to click this button and I usually just share it to my desktop as a file. And then I can do something with it later. So I just click next and I click Team Training, Desktop, and Save. And then it'll save it for me as this is being recorded in Quicktime. And then I can upload that Quicktime video to YouTube, which is actually what I'm going to do now. So I probably should click next. Okay, so that is it. I hope you find this useful. And like I said, please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.